The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
What does injustice mean to me? Injustice means that we have gaps in our system that need to be fixed. We have gaps in our homes that need to be fixed. Injustice means that we still have to pull together as a community to make sure that these gaps are being fixed. It's not that someone is bad. It's not bashing the judiciary system. It means that there's gaps that need to be filled. Just that. In order for us to have change, we have to learn how to use our voices. We have to learn how to fight without fighting. We don't have to use our fists, but our words are powerful. So I'm hoping today that you see, and when you hear the stories of the wonderful #1 best-selling authors today, I want you guys to really congratulate them. Doing this book, we had to relive our injustice. And we had to learn how to heal from it throughout the book. And some of our wounds are still very fresh.
Injustice 3. Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited tonight to have my guest, Dr. Iris Wright. How are you today?
Sorry, hey, how are you?
I am great. I'm so glad to have you here. And let me just tell the audience a little bit about you. Your bio is really extensive, and we're going to do more talking than me doing reading. But Dr. Iris Wright stands at the forefront of entrepreneurial innovation and community advocacy with a dynamic portfolio that includes Caring Hearts Telecare, Caring Hearts Foundation, Caring Wright Way Logistics, Wright Holdings, and her influential platforms Author Iris Wright, Real Talk with Iris, and Black Diamond Chronicle magazine. She's been married for 14 years. Dr. Wright is the matriarch of a blended family with 6 children and 3 grandchildren. 6 years ago, she relocated from Delaware to Newport News, Virginia, seeking new opportunities and fresh beginnings. Now, there is so much more that I can say. Let me conclude by saying beyond business and authorship, Dr. Wright is a fierce advocate for affordable home care and fair reimbursement for seniors. Her Injustice movement, launched in 2023, provides legal support to the wrongly accused and works to reunite families torn apart by injustice. She is currently involved in a clemency campaign for a man who has served 27 years of an 80-year sentence for a non-violent crime. My. Well, first of all, I want to know what has propelled you to be the fierce powerhouse that you are. And I'd like for you to kind of share what was your childhood like and how did that impact you?
I think I had an average childhood. I had my mom was a teen mom when she had me, so we kind of grew up together. Um, we stayed in, I want to say we stayed in a projects in Salisbury, Maryland. We moved around quite a bit. It was three of us, me and two of my sisters. My biological dad was incarcerated. He did a 25-year bid, and it was, it was life. It was life in it.
Well, let me ask you, do you have a relationship with your dad now?
Yes, I do.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And so, how did you get into this entrepreneurial mindset? Especially given, because I know we talked about the broken gym. Can you talk a little bit about that broken gym and how did you evolve from a broken gym to a black diamond?
Yes. So I want to say that when I was 18, I was um, facing over 20 years for a crime I didn't commit. I lost my daughter. Took me almost 5 years to get her back, a little over 4 years. And I had to fight for, my name. I had to fight for myself at that point. I had to learn how to fight. I always say, learn how to fight without fighting. Um, and I had to learn that real quick and real young at an age where someone is supposed to be preparing for their life to get started and adulthood and all that. I was fighting the justice system, and so that's what got me in it. Because of my situation, I was very angry. um I had a lot of anger problems, so I got in more trouble, got arrested several more times, and had a lot of trust issues, stayed in survival mode for almost 20 years, and just went through a lot of bad things just because of, one thing that happened to me, and ended up trickling down being more things. And with counseling and everything, it was hard to process what was happening with me, with my anger, um, disappointment, insecurities, all different types of things. So that's how I got into, into the injustice part of things. And I ended up having to take a charge, for a crime I didn't commit, which was very hard. Um,
Did you have to do time?
no, I didn't have to do any time. Thank God. We had, it's a lot of things about the justice system that, people just don't know. Even me, I was so afraid, because even then I had a baby at home, and I was pregnant with my son. And I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to make sure that when I went to trial that I went home. And I ended up getting all of my charges dropped but one, and he changed that felony to a misdemeanor, ended up giving me a year of unsupervised probation. It was called the Robinson plea. And little did I know, if it wasn't for my kids, I probably would have kept fighting, because when the court system can drop all of those charges and all that time that you was facing and just give you unsupervised probation, they really didn't have anything at that point. They just need something to stick because they messed up, right? And I didn't know that. I just wanted to go home. And because of everything that I have experienced through that, caused kind of more problems, because going through the whole process, I ended up almost losing my son. We had to deliver him early because I was hemorrhaging blood, and just so
Mm.
many things. So um, that's what got me into the justice system, and where I am today. And then in 2023, I think it was towards the end of 2022, I joined an anthology, and the anthology had not, it really didn't have anything to do with my story, but and I was supposed to write a 500-word chapter in a bio, and I did that. I just never stopped writing, and I started writing my story. And I had no clue that writing my story would make me feel some type of release.
It
Uh,
was cathartic for you.
yeah, it was something that I needed to do, because I've never, really, I've written it several times, but different. This time it was a little different before, because I would get upset having to go through it emotional, because I felt like I had to go through the emotional roller coaster over again, and I think I wasn't mature enough in that way to be able to handle it, because it made me more angry. But this time it really didn't. I was able to write my story. I had to learn how to write it in pieces. I couldn't just sit down and write it. And then I went live. So I never really went on social media or anything and told my story. So a lot of people close to me, especially moving into a new state, didn't really know everything I have been through until I went live on social media. And then when I went live on social media is when people started reaching out to me, telling me their stories. And I kind of then put down, stopped writing my solo book and said, okay, this is not just for me. This is for others too. So that's how our injustice movement started. I wanted to help other people heal from the hands of injustice. And we started our Injustice Volume 1 book in 2023. And now we just launched Injustice Volume 3. So I do an Injustice Volume every year, and I go through helping them write their chapters and their books, being able to talk about it, and coaching them through the process of getting it done. I customize the book so all of their books have their name on the cover, empowering them to continue moving. I publish all of them, and our next stage is talking about it. So I create a stage for them. So our Black Diamond Conference in this book here will be a stage that I created for them to be able to talk about it, tell their story, get that off their chest, and be able to take what they have to continue healing and to elevate into their purpose.
That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And we have an listening audience. I cannot pronounce her name, so I don't want to botch it up. Ask Big Mama Healer.
Mhm.
I got it. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you for being here and watching and giving your feedback. One of the things I want to ask you, because anger, our children are angry, parents are angry, our society is raging. Let me ask you, what impact did your anger have on you? What physical um, manifestations did you have as a result of your anger?
Um, I was incarcerated a few times. And I was even on probation before, violated probation. Um, I had a little bit of a nasty attitude at times. Just I've even went. One time I was arrested. I was put in maximum security. It was a rage that I felt, and I think it's important for us to ask children questions too when they get upset and angry, because I can't really explain a lot of it, but I can kind of explain the feeling. I used to, my description is I used to be able to feel my blood boiling. I can feel my
Mhm.
blood pressure rising.
Mhm.
And I can feel the buildup. And normally when that happens, I go off. And normally I'm getting arrested when that happens. But didn't really have a lot of control. I didn't feel like I had a lot of control. And I feel like at times people know how to push your buttons too. So, in my going through the healing process, um, I'm learning, to share things, but not to get too close, because I learned that people take what they learn about you, especially your weaknesses, and try to use that against
And
you.
that is so sad. And it's so sad that you have to feel that you have to be guarded because people are that way. And it's unfortunate that we do have people like that in the world.
Mhm.
So let me ask you, what have you done, or what are some of your techniques for handling your anger?
One is going through this process. I had to learn how to love myself again. I think when you go through something like injustice, because um, when you're going through something, especially, and I want to say through the justice system, you're facing all this time. You got to go to trial. Trial, can be years. I think it took me about 2 years. Um, People are saying things about you that are not true. People that's supposed to be close to you, that's supposed to know you, they turn their backs on you. It gives you something that you kind of think that something's wrong with you, if that makes sense to you.
Yes.
It was times that I used to ask myself, like, when did this happen? Like, do I have schizophrenia? Like, is something wrong with me? Like, why don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I ended up, I guess, not really loving myself, not really caring for myself like I'm supposed to.
Let me ask you, because you said your childhood was not bad. You had your mom struggled,
Hmm.
and but you guys were survivors. And do you feel that that survivor instinct in you was a motivating factor in terms of you being able to get past all this stuff that you had gone through, and all these things happened after you were 18, correct?
Yeah, well, actually, it started happening before I turned 18, but they waited until I was 18 to be able to, I guess, try me.
Wow. Wow. So, well, how did you rise above the broken gym? How did you rise above that?
I'm just going through my healing process again, like learning how to love myself, finding Christ again. That was major piece because I grew up in the church. My grandmother kept us in the church, so we knew about the Lord. But I had a period to where I thought that God forgot about me and didn't love me. So I kind of forgot about Him as well. Not to put it so bluntly, but I kind of turned my back on Him as well. And so I had to, learn how to um, rebuild that relationship with Him, that personal relationship with Him. It's not so much about the people or the church or anything. It's just building that foundation, that relationship with Him. And then I had to learn how to um, process things, and how to look at myself. Who am I? I used to
Hmm.
ask myself that question all the time. So I used to write words of inspiration to myself. You're powerful, you're beautiful, you're strong. Whatever it is that you need, be able to write and say that to yourself, to build your confidence. That was a major piece in building that confidence as well. And then writing was a major piece. It felt like I felt safe. I felt um, like I had a voice. A lot of time when you're going through the judiciary system, you don't have a voice. Um, and it's crazy to say that, but you don't really recognize that when you're so young. You're fighting for yourself, and then being able to help other people. I think when you're stuck in survival mode, we forget that your story, what you're going through, may not be the worst, but in your mind you think it's the worst, right? No one's ever been through what I've been through. This is a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
But
Yes.
once you start unlocking and processing things and healing, you notice that, oh my God, people have been through worse things I have been through, right? And that so many other people need that community and network as well. Talking about your injustice, whether it's the judiciary system, whether you've been raped or whatever, sometimes it's very, very hard to talk to people about it. So building that network. So that's what we're doing with our injustice books. It's not just the anthology. We're building a network. So any one of my authors is in my book, and I have, and they have contact me, cried on the phone. They just wanted me to hear them, whatever it takes. And that's how I got Fighting for Rudolph. His sister wrote a story in Justice Volume 1 and asked me to, and that helped her build the confidence that she needed to fight for her brother, allowed her to get in some extra rooms, and she
Now,
asked
is
me to be
he?
a part of that.
Did he come? Is he free now?
No, we are working on it. We're hoping that within the next year we can have him free. So we're working very hard on it.
That is wonderful. And I know that you have several entrepreneurial endeavors. One is Caring Hearts Telecare. You want to tell us about Caring Hearts Telecare?
Yeah, Caring Hearts is a virtual and hybrid home care company. I like technology, so we're a virtual hybrid home care company.
How does
I do,
that work?
well, I do companion, so we still do where we may have a companion care aide to go to the home to help and take care of the client, but we have our electronic caregiver for people who may not need a person to go into their homes. And what we do there is we program our electronic caregiver for their needs, making sure they take their medications, eat their meals. If their doctor requires them to have their blood sugars done, they can use our equipment. We can see, their blood sugars. We don't have to be there to monitor them to make sure it's getting done.
Wow.
She even plays games with them. So is somebody there watching them and monitoring them 24 hours a day? They have the fall risk. So if something were to happen, she can contact the emergency or the agency to let us know that something just happened.
Wow.
So and we're there, and she's constantly being upgraded. So that's the unique part about her. She is constantly being upgraded, so we can constantly take the technology that we have to be able to help more people. Our mission is to keep people independent, safe, mobile, at home.
Well, let
Um,
me ask you something. Now, do you have clients all over the United States?
yep, I can take clients all over with the electronic caregiver, so they don't just have to be in my state. In our virtual package, yes.
So, are you hiring?
I am not really virtually because we use technology. We don't need to have a we don't need to have that call center. We end up partnering with a multi-million dollar company that built our technology, put everything in place for us. So we don't have to hire the like that again. When we first started, we used to hire people to work remotely to be able to help us keep track of our clients. We no longer have to do that.
Wow. That's amazing. So, how many clients do you have under your telecare?
Oh God. I want to say, because we have a mixture of virtual and hybrid, so I want to say we have about 20.
Okay, that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
what about your Caring Hearts Foundation?
That's where we do our nonprofit things, like our injustice movement is part of that. What we use to be able to give back to our seniors is part of that. So things that I enjoy doing to give back to our community.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, tell me about your senior care. I'm especially interested in that since I am a senior. So, tell me about your senior care.
Which one, the electronic caregiver? The one I just told you about?
You just talked about that, but you also you do some other things with seniors, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're home care, so we do a lot of different things with seniors. Sometimes we do like the lunch and learns with them. We teach them how to use their electronic devices. If senior needs air conditioner, we helps out to make sure that they have air. We play bingo. We do a lot of different things with the seniors, but
Now,
my
do you have a senior facility yourself?
no, I want to keep people at home.
Okay,
That's where they live longer at home.
beautiful.
Yeah, been in healthcare for about 15 years. I have watched
Wow.
um, seniors be put in homes. I have watched some of them beg to die. I have watched a lot of them be mistreated. I have watched some of them that went from seeing their family often to not seeing their family at all. So I like keeping them at home.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, you also have Caring Right Way Logistics. Tell us about that.
Right Way Logistics is dispatching. So me and my husband, that's a new venture we're doing. We're learning trucking dispatching. My husband is home full time now. My husband has pulmonary sarcoidosis,
Okay.
and
You want to explain that?
yeah, pulmonary sarcoidosis is a immune disease. It can attack any organ in your body. Doctors don't know a whole lot about it, um, but it's thousands of people that are living with it. Most of the time, it do attack your lungs area, your respiratory, but there are cases where you have it in your heart and all over. My husband, he has it in his lungs. Um, he can't get it in other places because a few years ago, it was the first time it attacked his eye. So it's definitely something that we have to be more educated on. So what I'm doing is 2026 April is Sarcoidosis Awareness Month. I'm doing a sarcoidosis walk. I'm putting a brunch together, getting some people in there so we can educate people on sarcoidosis because right now they have no clue how people are getting it. The doctors don't know if it's hereditary. They don't know if it's something that people are breathing in. If you're working, it could be something you breathe in at a job. If you work with chemicals or anything, they really do not know. And I honestly think they really do not care to know because we're in 2025. We should know more by now, but because it's quote unquote a black, they said is mostly in the African American family. I don't think they're going to spend too much money to figure it out. But in all honesty, I have met more of other races with this disease than I have black people.
Well, let me
Um,
ask.
it used to be called Huntington disease as well.
Okay. Are you familiar with plant-based stem cell
A
treatment?
little I've been a little bit. I've been reading about it. Been reading about different treatments. Just for my husband.
Yes. Well, I can vouch for the body redesigning.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to have knee surgery, but because of the stem cells that I'm taking, I am not going to need knee surgery. I'm claiming it. I mean,
Oh
it's
wow.
amazing. It's amazing. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
Um, now, okay, so what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So, what was it that propelled you to move in the directions that you've moved? I understand why the justice books, and I applaud you. Because what you did, you took your pain and turned it into your passion and your
Hmm.
purpose, which is beautiful. But how did you end up in senior care and all the other things that you're doing?
Um, I'm an advocate for the voiceless. So senior care has always been I don't know, important. It's been in my life. My mom's worked in nursing 30 some years. I used to volunteer when I was a kid in activities department and play games with them and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And before I was arrested, I was actually in nursing myself and ended up losing my job and not able to do certain things because of my charges.
oh, wow.
And I was able to fight back and get another chance at it. So, but seniors are another vulnerable population. They need people who care. They need passionate people to stand up for them. They go through a lot, and a lot of times, and a lot in our medical facilities. That's why I don't really believe in nursing homes and all that kind of good stuff. But I do understand that some people have to go there, but they need people to stand up and talk for them.
Amen.
So
Amen. I
it's
just
important.
applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you. You are a very special young woman. And to have such a heart for seniors um, is just absolutely beautiful. Now, you've written several books, including Take Your Power Back, From Broken to Brilliance, Black Diamond Chronicles, Injustice 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
And you also have a children's book, Being Me is Enough and Being Me is Super.
Mhm.
And these encourage self-love and confidence in young readers. I wish I had copies of all your books. I would have
Yeah.
displayed them.
Yeah. The Black Diamond Chronicles is a book. I ended up dreaming, having a dream, waking up early in the morning and putting that cover together and sending it over to my team and said, "Hey, I keep having this dream, so go ahead and put it out there." I had a dream that we launched it on New Year's, so I launched it on New Year's this year. And I'll launch a new series on every New Year's. But what was important what was weird about the dream was that he ended up in the dream. It replayed what I had to go through, and then he played where I was at now.
When you
Um,
say he, are you talking about the Holy Spirit?
yeah, I'm saying the Lord.
Okay, all right.
That's how I kind of communicate with
Okay,
him.
I can relate.
So when when he constantly puts something on my mind over and over and over again, it kind of catches my attention and say, okay, maybe this is something I'm supposed to do. And with this book here, I think it was very important for our injustice community to be able to see people who have been through some type of injustice or adversity, and to see that they can heal and they can elevate to their next level.
Beautiful.
So the people in the book are elevating to their next level. They're doing a lot of amazing things, running businesses, advocating, working in mental health. All different types of things of how they helping people. Some of them are, millionaires and doing all kinds of great things. So I wanted to be able to showcase that it is possible for you. And I used the black diamond to symbolize that, not because of our skin color or anything. Everybody always asks me, is it because of our skin color? But the black diamond is very unique, and I talk about it in the book. I talk about the things that the black diamond does that no other diamond can do. Most importantly, there's no such thing as a black diamond. It was a fragile gem when they were starting to put that together. They said the gem was so fragile when they tried to use it in jewelry and things, it would break. So a lot of us was fragile at one time, and when you abuse us and hurt us, we were broken. We had to figure out how to heal and put the pieces back together. And then to be able to create that beautiful diamond, it had to go through a process to be able to come to black diamond. Even the color, they had to use the granite and different things to be able to help get that beautiful color. Even when the black diamond was created and it was beautiful, people still did not want to purchase it or wear it because it was a black diamond. All right. People didn't believe in a diamond being black, I guess, or whatever it may be. It looks dark, right? So nobody wanted to wear that diamond. Here today, a lot of people wear the black diamond. The black diamond is purchased by a lot of people. The black diamond is unique. And in you, because of your story, because of your brokenness, and you were able to heal and transform yourself, you are the black diamond.
That's
It's
beautiful.
some things that no one can do but you. Even if they try to reciprocate it, they can try to remake it, but they cannot do it because it was meant for you.
That is beautiful. Oh my God. Absolutely beautiful. And the way you've expressed it, just beautiful.
Yeah, so that's where the black diamond came from. It came from that dream, and I want everybody to look at themselves like they are that precious diamond, and know how important they are and how unique they are, and it's okay to be different. So we want to really speak more positivity into our community and into us as healing, because we have so much going on in our world right now.
Yes. And where can they get this book, Black Diamond?
They can go to my website, iris-wright.com.
Okay. And I do have that on the screen. Go to iris-wright.com and you can get that book and you can also get her Injustice book the same way. Please support what she's doing. And tell me about your logo.
Uh, so when I first started writing, it's some things like with the lion. I always picture myself now as a lioness. And what I like about her is that we had the fire coming out of her mouth. It's a representation of me. Um, you know, in my mind, a positive way. I heard people say negative things about the lion, but I was once broken. I was once voiceless, and that lion, when it roars, you can hear it 6 feet away, and you can see the fire when they want to go.
I love
And
it.
that's what that lion means to me. And that's what it means to my books, because I wrote one 500-word chapter and I never stopped writing. And I
Wow.
needed that fire to be able to
Yes.
have my voice heard.
That
And
is beautiful.
so that's where that lion came from.
Okay. And here you are.
Yes, this is where I have a new book, part of this project, with Kevin Harrington. He's one of the original Shark Tank. And we're doing a book called The Impact Leaders. So October 4th, we are going to Hollywood. I will be speaking on the panel with
Oh,
Kevin and the Impact
awesome.
Leaders. And I wrote a chapter in the anthology called The Impact Leaders.
Congratulations. That's amazing. And
Thank
you
you.
know what? I've got to go to commercial and I will be right back.
Forgiveness is a powerful tool for personal growth, allowing us to let go of resentment and move forward. The key to inner peace and emotional well-being. Apologies and forgiveness go hand in hand, creating space for healing and reconciliation. Inner work and willingness are essential in the process of forgiveness, requiring us to confront our own emotions and vulnerabilities. Taking a broader perspective on actions helps us understand the complexities of human nature and the impact of forgiveness on relationships. The journey of self-discovery is intertwined with forgiveness, leading us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Follow Divine Marketing Pro for more personal growth.
Ariel Chime, authentic divine marketing at https://bit.ly/divine chime. If you want promos that are going to be authentic, that are going to represent who you are and what you are driving in terms of your purpose and your passion, you want to check with Ariel Chime, Authentic Divine Marketing. All right. Now, back
Yeah.
to our discussion. What would you say to people who have gone through the fire? They've been through so much, just as you
Mhm.
have been. What would you say to them that would be encouraging and uplifting? I'm going to give you the floor and give you just time to speak your mind.
Um, I will tell them define, which I know it's very hard. When you're going through things, like I didn't believe there was a such thing as healing, and again, I believe that God had forgotten about me. Um, I would say to you is, not to give up. I would say to you, find something that you care about, that you enjoy doing, just that peace, whether it's in a quiet room, if you're alone and you need to yell, whatever it takes to need to get that out. I going through everything that I had to go through. I had one lady, and I always tell this story because um, people think that they can't talk to God in a certain manner when you're hurting. And one day I was in a dollar store, and this lady, she must could feel something going on with me. I had been contemplating on wanting to take my life. I'm just going through so many different emotions. And she pays for her stuff. She leaves. I'm walking out. She's coming back in, and she asked me if she could, give me a hug, give me a hug. And I was able to give this lady a hug, and I just poured out in tears. And she said to me, whatever you're planning to do, don't do, take it to God. She told me that a lot of people do not understand that God is a graceful God. He understands what we're going through. He said, if you need to yell, if you need to curse him, whatever you need to do, throw stuff, whatever, he wants you to take it to him. And I've never seen this lady again.
That was an angel.
And so I would say the same thing to you, is that take it to him, talk to him. It may not always be the church. I
Amen.
When people told me, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to go into the church. Well, I tried that. I went into the church for the pastor to call me up to the front to tell me that God do not help sinners.
Oh my God. No, you're kidding me.
No,
A
no.
minister told you that?
Yeah. And, I never, I walked right on out.
I don't blame
And then
you.
I end up meeting this lady a while later. And, what she said to me had made sense, you know? So find that place where you can really talk to him.
And I want to say, talking to him does not require long, drawn out prayers.
Yeah.
Talking to him could simply be, help me. I
Yeah.
remember I was working on a project, and it was during the time of selectric typewriters. You're probably too young to remember those. But there were typewriters, they were called selectric typewriters, and they were the top of the line. They didn't serve the purpose of a computer. But I'm sitting here and I'm trying to type this information, and I have more papers on the floor than I do on my desk. And all I said was, Lord, help me. And within 5 minutes, there was a knock on my door. A friend of mine who worked for the city and had his own businesses as well. He's like, Vera, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to get this project done. He says, give it to me and I'll have my secretary type it up for you. I was like, ah!
Mhm.
And so, I mean, all I said was, help me. And so you can be as simple as that. Help me
Yeah.
when you don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know,
yeah, that was a big important part of me. So, even now when I see people or I feel the energy that they need a hug, I give them a hug.
that's beautiful.
And I let them know that hug saves lives. So
Yes.
um
Wow.
I believe that. So, you know, open up, talk to God wherever He is. If you have to do it alone, if you need to yell, if you need to cry, whatever it is, don't worry about no one else around you. Just focus on, that moment with Him, let pour into Him because He wants us to come to Him.
Yes. And he said, come, my yoke is easy and my burdens are light.
Yeah.
So when we carry, let him carry whatever it is that we're going through. He will help you. He will lead you, guide you, and direct you. You've got to trust that. You've got to believe that. And you've got to know that. And so, with all the things you've gone through, for you to have the heart that you have for justice, for seniors, for being an advocate, God bless you. That's why he's blessing you to the extent that he is. And speaking of which, let's kind of talk about things that are going on with you and how God is really working in your life.
Um, um, I don't know. He's been blessing me just like being a full-time entrepreneur. I never started as a part-time entrepreneur, so I jumped right into full-time. I think 2019 I read Steve Harvey's book Jump, quit my job and became an entrepreneur full-time. And
What was your first business?
it was called Wrights Virtual Services. I took everything I knew how to do and put it into that business. And then not long after COVID came, so I was so scared and so nervous, like, oh my God. But I knew it was God removing me because COVID, like again, my husband has sarcoidosis, so my husband cannot get sick. So I would have had to quit anyways. So I always say He's preparing you for something. And so I had a remote call center. We did taxes, we did title work. Little did I know, I mean, we opened up our first office and had to shut it down. And I had to figure out, oh my God, there's no school. We have a young child here. How am I going to work? How am I going to get this business off get this business going? And I had no clue the title companies were going to pick up. So the title companies picked up. It was so busy. So I was able to schedule closings around. And when I tell you it was so busy, I was closing deals like at midnight sometimes
Wow.
because where they were backed up from COVID, and I guess people wanted to refinance their homes. Everybody was scared. It was a lot happening. And then a lot of companies were allowing us to remote close on our computers. So I ended up, doing very well. And then I ended up taking and saving some of that money. and I would wake up at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. every day, and I would write all the policies and everything to open my home care company. So 2 to 5 was kind of everybody's sleep. I can write my policies, I can get this done and get everything done for the home care company. And that's how I started it. And I've been at home, have not had to work a job. I do other things because I want to. But I told God if I was going to quit my job, I was going to give it 110%, just as much as I gave a job. And I gave the job a whole lot. So I had a, big shoe to fill. But most importantly, while I was going to do this, I was not going to operate in survival mode. And I think that's the most important thing, because I operated in survival mode for a long time at work because of my situation. Work was my safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And this here is my safe place. So I needed to make sure that I'm operating in excellence and coming out of that survival mode. In survival mode, we don't always see everything. We're too deep in. We chasing something. Most of the time, it's the bag. And I didn't want to chase the bag. I wanted to chase my purpose and let the bag come chase me.
I love it.
And so that's what we're focusing on. Just continue building our purpose, and to continue building what what the Lord has for me, and then everything else is just coming together. So I'm able to now. I homeschool my son this year, and my husband is sick and he's home with me. I'm able to keep him home so he can heal. And it's just been a blessing. I've been able to do quite a bit of travel in between, a lot of travel in between, more than I care for, but we're doing it. But I'm just thankful. So I'm not the one to say, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire or a billionaire or anything. I really don't care about that. I really just want to focus on my purpose, healing, and being happy.
That's
Everything
beautiful.
else everything else comes, and I think so far it's so many times that we're focused on money and this and that we forget the important things.
I
'Cause,
love it.
when
I
he's ready to
love
call
it.
us home, that money ain't coming with us,
No, it's not.
you know.
It's what's in between that dash.
Yeah,
The life you lived, the people you touched, the difference that you made. And that's
yeah.
what he looks at. And you know, God is going to bless you even more. He really is. And I'm going to do another commercial and then we will be right back. Let me Yeah, we've got an event coming up tomorrow. Um, Let me go ahead and play this right quick. Father, provider, protector, role model for a son, the image of the man that will be the husband of your daughter when that time comes. What's best for your children should be concern number one, regardless of any obstacles a father must overcome. Sometimes the injustices of our society towards many of our fathers can make it hard to stand, but you gotta stand and be a man and a father to your children in every way you possibly can. Demonstrate their worth through you by the words that you say and the things that you do. Don't ever put your children down or call them out of their name. They may become whatever you claim. Lift them up to higher ground. Let their inner beauty be seen, be found. Show them and tell them how special they are. Be the light. Be the light. Be the light to take them far. Show them and tell them how much you really care, and let them know no matter what, you will always, in all ways, be there. Pray that our fathers will be guided by the light to lead their children in the ways that are right. Join us on tomorrow for the, why isn't it showing? Join us tomorrow. This says May 25th, but it's actually tomorrow, June 25th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Greater Stark County Urban League at 1400 Sherrick Road. And what we're going to be looking at are the things that fathers are doing that they need to be celebrated and honored for, and things that fathers could improve. So join me tomorrow from 6 to 8, and we're looking at understanding your role, overcoming obstacles, building strong relationships, nurturing self worth in yourself and your children. So join us tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Greater Stark County Urban League. You can actually click on this QR code to register. You can click on the QR code that is on the screen to register. Okay. Well, listen. Okay. So, you have brought a wealth of inspiration and encouragement today. And you are a perfect example of how your past does not define your future. And you are a perfect example of how you can rise above adversity, how you can rise above being a broken gem to becoming that black diamond. And the way you described the making of a black diamond, it requires work, it requires patience. It requires the ability to be firm, would you not say?
Yes, definitely.
And
Definitely.
you are that black diamond. So I appreciate you being here. I'm going to have you close us out with final words. Yes, I'm going to have you close this out with final words.
Guys, I want to say be the best version of yourself every single day. Every day, learn something new, um, and grow. Continue to be that the person you like looking at in the mirror. All right, the person that you like when you walk into the store. And I also want to say congratulations to all of my authors this past year. I cannot wait to see some of you at the Black Diamond Conference and Award Show this Saturday at the beautiful Virginia Beach. Um, I'm honoring all of you guys. I cannot wait. I thank God for allowing me to be in position to be able to honor you, and to be in a position to be able to have help you, to be able to advocate for you, and to be able to make you authors. So I'm excited, give you that floor and that platform to speak on. But every single day, be the best version of yourself. And guys, remember that hug saves lives. So if you see someone that is
Yeah.
hurting, that need help, don't hesitate to give them a hug and let them know that God loves them.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hugs save lives. I love it. I'm going to put that in here. Hugs saves. Oh, come on. Hugs saves lives. Yes. Keep that in mind. Hugs save lives. And before we close, you can reach out to Dr. Iris at
Um, Sales at iriswright.com, or you can go to my website, iris-wright.com.
So please check her out. Check out her books. Thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate you so much. And all I can say is much continued success to you as you continue to do God's work and live in your purpose and your passion. And
Thank you
with
so much.
that, can if you don't mind holding on, I would appreciate it. Okay.
Yep.
And with that, I say we'll see you on Thursday with my guest, Felicia Bass. See you soon.
The Vera